explanations of Biot-Savart law problems. Now, till now, we derived so many expressions here. So, magnetic field due to a finite wire of length L or whatever be, a distance R, this is the expression for the magnetic field due to a finite wire. So, for this we can use this formula if you know the alpha value here and now beta. If you know these two values, you can find a magnetic field due to a finite wire. Similarly, if you take infinite wire, this will become sin 90 plus sin 91. So, magnetic field due to infinite wire is given by mu naught I by 2 pi r. So, this is a wire of infinite length and the resistance R if you want to find out magnetic field subcurrent I. So, this is the expression for this one. But in case of a circular loop carrying some current I here, if I want to find out the magnetic field at the center, the magnetic field at the center O is given by due to circular loop. This will be mu naught Ni by 2r. Some cases, if number of turns are not given, you take n is equal to 1 only. But generally from school standard, from high school standard, we will take 2 pi r is the circumference of a circular coil. But you want to get 2 pi r here, remember this point, this is the radius of this one, you will have only 2r here. But for a wire you will get 2 pi r. This is the point that you have to remember while solving the problems on this Biot-Savart law. Here I am going to solve some problems. The first one, for a semicircular arc carrying current I, if I want to find out magnetic field at the center. So this is a semicircular arc of radius r here, this is r. So how to find magnetic field at point 1? So this is the first problem. So magnetic field due to semicircle. I know the magnetic field due to a complete circle is mu naught Ni by 2r. But semicircle, half of that value. So this is half of the magnetic field due to a complete circle. So this is half of mu naught Ni by 2r. So which is given by mu naught Ni by 4r. This is magnetic field due to semicircle. So this is the first problem. Similarly, if you take the second problem here, now if you are given, but once again I am telling, if current is flowing in the direction, the field is into, always indicates the direction of the magnetic field after writing this expression. Now, here one more problem, it is given such that this is the semicircular coil, this is another semicircular coil, which are joined together here. And in this is the center, and if I want to find out magnetic field at this point O, here current, let us say it is flowing in this direction, here current is flowing in this direction. The radius of the inner semicircular wire or loop is R1, let us say this is R2, with R2 greater than R1 carrying current I. So how to find magnetic field at this point? Here, this diagram can be divided into 4 parts. As the current is starting to move in this direction, coming back in this direction, moving in this direction, like this. So here if you observe this diagram, there are 4 different portions in this diagram. First let me take this point as P, starting point. So P to Q is one portion, Q to R another portion, R to S another portion, S to P another portion. So magnetic field at center O is given by magnetic field due to PS, magnetic field due to, so first of all PQ, this portion, outer semicircle, magnetic field due to QR, magnetic field due to RS, and then magnetic field due to SP. But how these fields are acting here, whether we need to add them or subtract them, we will learn now. So magnetic field at the center is given by, first one, if you consider this semicircular portion, here we have this formula, half of the circle, full circle mu naught N by 2r, half of the semicircle mu naught N by 4r. So this is mu naught. Here number of turns are not given, you take n is equal to 1, current I by 4 this radius is R2. So mu naught I by 4 R2. But when the current is flowing like this, the field is acting inwards. So I am going to keep this as into this board. So first portion is over. This is B1, magnetic field due to the first portion. Now B2, here current is flowing like this. I want magnetic field here. We know that whenever a coil is carrying current or a wire is carrying some current, the field will be produced around the current carrying conductor but not on its axis. So magnetic field at any point on its axis, at any point here or here or here, anywhere, magnetic field will be 0. As here it is sin theta. If theta will become 0, sin 0 will be 0. So B will be 0. So what is the magnetic field due to this straight conductor at this point? This will be 0 here. So magnetic field due to QR portion is 0. Now what is the magnetic field due to RS? Here current is flowing like this. Field is outwards. This is also semicircle. So this can be written as mu naught I by 4 R1, and here the field is, here current is flowing like this, field is outwards. So I am going to keep one symbol here, outwards, plus, and what is the magnetic field due to SP, straight wire. So as it is a straight wire here, and here if you extend, this is also a straight wire, and this point lies on the axis of this one. Magnetic field due to the on the axis of a straight wire is always 0. So this is also equal to 0. So you can see magnetic field due to the QR portion, magnetic field due to SP is 0. So we have magnetic field only due to this two semicircular portions at this point O. So the net magnetic field at O is given by, you can see this is acting inwards, this is acting outwards. Magnetic field is a vector. Two fields are acting inwards and outwards. So here it is acting inwards, here it is acting outwards. So we need to subtract these two. But out of these two, which is bigger? We know that the numerator in these two cases is same, denominator is different, but R1 is less than R2. R1 less than R2. So this R1 is lesser, this value should be more. Why? Because denominator has lesser value, the total value will be more here. So you can write mu naught I by 4 R1 minus mu naught I by 4 R2. As we know that as this value is bigger, this direction will be bigger than this one. So the net magnetic field will act outwards only. So this you can write, if you take mu naught I by 4 common. So I can write this as mu naught I by 4 common 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, and it is acting out of the board. So this is a given diagram. This is the center. Let us say it is carrying some current here, I, and the radius of this one is R. Carrying current I. So what is the magnetic field at center? O. Here also you can see there are three different parts in this one. This is an infinite wire here. This is also an infinite wire. And this is a semicircle. So magnetic field at center O is given by magnetic field due to infinite wire, magnetic field due to semicircle, magnetic field due to infinite wire. So BO is given by, what is the magnetic field due to infinite wire? You can see when the current is flowing like this point O lies on the axis of this wire. So magnetic field due to infinite wire is 0, and magnetic field due to semicircular wire here is equal to half of this value. So directly you can write mu naught I by 4R plus magnetic field due to infinite wire. Here also this point is on the axis of this one when it extend backwards, 0. So what is the magnetic field at center O here? This is equal to, as these two are 0, so only the semicircular portion will produce the magnetic field at the center. But what is its direction? As the current is flowing in the clockwise direction, field is into this one. So keep into here. This is the magnetic field at the center of this one. And one more diagram, fourth one. Let us say the coil is given like this. Here one semicircular coil. This is center O. Current is flowing like this, and it is leaving here. So when this type of diagram is given here, how to find magnetic field at the center O of this given structure, given figure. So once again the current is I, and when the radius of this one is represented as R, so now once again this can be divided into three parts. From there to here, this is infinite wire. So let me take it as part 1. This is part 2, semicircular wire, and here this is a part 3, a straight conductor. Now here what I am going to do, the magnetic field at O is given by, BO is given by B1 plus B2 plus B3. That is magnetic field due to the first part plus magnetic field due to the second part plus magnetic field due to the third part. So what is the magnetic field due to the first part? Here the current in this wire is I, and the distance of this one is R. Now if you want to find out the magnetic field at the one end of infinite wire, so we have this formula, one end is 90, other end is 0. So here alpha is 90, beta will be 0 for this portion. So we can write this mu naught I by 4 pi r sin 90 plus sin 0, I am going to take it as 1. But what is the direction of the magnetic field here? Here current is flowing along the thumb. The field above the wire is into the board, but I don't want the magnetic field above the wire. I want the magnetic field below the wire. So I have to rotate my hand such that the current is in this direction, field is outwards. So this field is outwards. Plus, what is the magnetic field due to this semicircular arc at the center? So this is half of the magnetic field here. We found this one, mu naught I by 4r. So this is mu naught I by 4r. But what is the direction of the magnetic field here? Here current is flowing in the direction of the curled fingers. So thumb will be outwards. So this will be out. Plus, what is the magnetic field due to this straight wire at this point? Here current is flowing like this. I want magnetic field here. Don't keep fingers like this here, because you are not finding magnetic field here. You are finding magnetic field above the wire and outside. So this will be mu naught I by 4 pi r. This is also outwards. You can see all the fields are acting outwards only. So we can add all these three. So mu naught I by 4 pi r constant. So this will become 1 plus this will become pi, because if you multiply these two, you get pi get cancelled, you get this one, plus 1. So this is the expression. So 1 plus 1 will become 2. So mu naught I by 4 pi r into 2 plus pi. And the resultant magnetic field due to these three parts will be outside only. So this is the magnetic field at the center of this given diagram. Fifth one, here in each and every diagram I want to find out a magnetic field at center O of the given figure. Now here in the first case, so this is the first portion, this is the second portion, this is the third portion. So from here to here infinite wire, 3/4 of a circle, once again infinite wire. So magnetic field at center O is given by magnetic field due to first wire plus magnetic field due to second wire plus magnetic field due to third wire. So what is the magnetic field due to first wire? Here the point O lies on the axis of this wire. So this is 0. This is 3/4 of the magnetic field due to a complete circular portion. So mu naught I by 2r plus magnetic field due to third portion. Remember, this point is not on the axis of this one. It distance r, and infinite distance alpha will be 90, beta is 0. Use that value. Mu naught I by 4 pi r. Sin 90 plus sin 0 will become 1. But what is the direction of the magnetic field due to this conductor? Here when the current is flowing like this, field is outwards. So here I am going to write the field is outwards. Plus, what is the magnetic field due to this wire, straight wire, at point O? Always you keep the fingers at this point, not below this one. So don't keep like this in the downward direction. Here upward. So this is also field outwards. So both fields are acting outwards. There is no field to the first wire. So add these two. Mu naught I by 2r is common. So you can write mu naught I by 4 pi r if you take common. So this is also mu naught I by 4 pi r. So 3 pi by 2. So this is 1 plus 3 pi by 2. And the total field is acting out of this paper. Now, second problem. Here also we have 4 different parts. So you can start from somewhere here. So this is the first portion. So portion 1, 1/4 of a circular coil. This is second portion where the current is flowing here. This is the third portion and this is the fourth portion. Now, what is the magnetic field at the first point, center O, due to this one? So first let me write B is equal to B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4. So magnetic field B is equal to, what is B1? 1/4 of the circular coil. So 1 by 4 into mu naught I by, this distance is, radius is 2r. So mu naught I by, this will be 2r2. But how the field is acting? As the current is flowing in clockwise direction here, the field will be inwards. So this is into the board. Plus, second one, magnetic field due to this one B2 at this point on the axis is always 0. So plus 0 plus third one, 3/4 of a circular coil. So I can write 3 by 4 of mu naught I by 2r1. Here also field here, as we are showing this one, this is into, here also this is into, because here the current is flowing like this, field is into. So I am showing this as into here. Plus magnetic field due to this one at this point on the axis is 0. So out of these 4 parts, only 2 parts will responsible for the magnetic field at the center. These 2 will not provide any magnetic field here. So magnetic field at center O is given by this plus this, both are acting into this one. So we can add these. So the mu naught I, mu naught 3, mu naught I. So mu naught I by 2 common. The remaining terms are mu naught I 2 here, mu naught I 2 here. This is 1 by 8r2 plus 1 by 4r1. So you can simplify this one and the total field is acting into this one. So after simplification, mu naught I by 2, if you take 8r1 r2 here, so this will become 1 r1, this will become 2 r2. Now, seventh problem. Here we have a similar diagram. So let the current is flowing in the clockwise direction. Here current is flowing like this, current is flowing like this. So this is the first portion, semicircular arc or semicircular wire. Then second portion, third portion, fourth portion. So after solving these problems, we can say B2 is equal to B4 is equal to 0, because the point where we are finding magnetic field lies on the axis of this. So the total magnetic field directly we can write B1 plus B3 only, because B1 is the semicircle here, B2 is another semicircle. So what is B1 value? Mu naught I by, this is 4r2, because full circle 2r2, one half of this one 4r2. But how the field is acting? As the current is flowing like this is into this board. So this is into plus mu naught I by 4r1. Here field is acting like this. Here also current is flowing like this, field is into. So this is also into only. So both are having common this one, 1 by r1 plus 1 by r2, which is acting into this board. Now, eighth problem. Here the current is coming like this. This is a infinite wire, but this is a finite wire, because the dots are not shown here. So once again, this is first portion, second portion, third portion. So magnetic field at the center is given by B1 plus B2 plus B3. So what is B1? Once again, this point O is on the axis of this wire. So you can write this as 0 plus what is B2? 1/4 of a circular portion. So this is 1 by 4 into mu naught I by 2r. But how the field is acting? Here as the current is flowing like this, field is into this one. So I can denote this as into this plus. What is the magnetic field due to this finite wire? Once again, if you extend this one, the point O lies on the axis of this one. So this will be 0. So what is the magnetic field at center O? Mu naught I by 8r into the board. Here in the 9th problem, there is a coil like this and wires are connected here, and I want to find out magnetic field at the center of this one. The current is entering from this wire and it is leaving from this wire, and the current is dividing as I1 and I2 at this junction. So what is the magnetic field at the center? First of all, I can divide this into 4 parts here. This is the first part, half semicircle here, second part, third part, fourth part. So magnetic field at center O is equal to the sum of the magnetic field due to these 4 portions, B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4. Now what is B1? B1 is the magnetic field due to this straight wire at this point. As this point lies on the axis, so we know that magnetic field is 0. So what is the magnetic field due to this one, B2? So here B2 is the magnetic field due to the current that is flowing through this one. So here current is flowing like this, field is inwards. So half of mu naught I1 by, let us say radius of this one is r. So this is 2r. But what is the direction of the magnetic field here? This is into the board. So I am going to write this as into the board plus B3 magnetic field due to the remaining semicircular part. Here current is flowing like this, but here current is not flowing like this. Current here dividing into 2 parts. So here I have to apply right hand rule such that field is into, but here I have to apply magnetic field like this. This is the direction of current. So field is outwards. So what is the magnetic field due to this half of this one? Mu naught I2 by 2r. As the current is flowing like this, field is outwards. So this is outwards. Plus B4 will be 0. Because for this straight wire, O is the axis of this one, it will be 0. Now you can write this as mu naught I1 by 4r minus mu naught I2 by 4r. Why? Because one is acting into this one is acting out of the board. So we have to subtract this. So mu naught by 4r I1 minus I2. Now, what is I1 here? You can see this is a semicircular part here. This is semicircular part, half of it. If the total resistance of this one is capital R, this resistance will be R by 2, and this resistance is also equal to R by 2. So main current is I dividing into 2 parts. So we have this formula that we have studied in a previous lesson. I1 is equal to main current into resistance on the other branch by sum of the 2 resistors. This will cancel. This is I by 2, and I2 also I into resistance on the other branch by sum of the 2 resistors. This is I by 2. So I1 is equal to I by 2, I2 is equal to I by 2. As this portion has resistance R by 2, this portion has resistance R by 2, as resistance are same, currents will be divided equally. So I1 minus I2 will become 0. So magnetic field at the center of this one will become 0. Take a coil having radius r and having number of turns n here. So let me take this is n1 and radius of this coil is r1. This is the center of the coil. What is the magnetic field at B1, which is given by mu naught times the number of turns into the current flowing through this coil as I by 2r1. This is the magnetic field at the center of the circular current carrying coil. Now, if this coil is rewound, so this coil is rewound into a small coil, circular coil only. Whenever the radius decreases, then the number of turns in the coil will increase as N2 for example, and carrying the same current here. So what is the magnetic field at the center of the second coil? B2 is given by mu naught times of to new number of turns is N2, current I by 2R2. Now, if I want to find out the relation between B1 and B2 here, you can cancel mu naught and mu naught, 2 and 2 cancel, I and I get cancels. So from this we can write B1 by B2 is equal N1 by N2 into R2 by R1. So this is the relation between B1 by B2. You just compare these two, B1 by B2, mu naught cancel, 2 get cancelled, current and current get cancelled. The remaining terms are N1 by R1 by N2 by R2 will become N1 by N2 into R2 by R1. Suppose in a problem they may give a coil with a number of turns 100 is rewound into a coil with a number of turns 300. What is the ratio of the magnetic field? Here radius is not mentioned, but what we can say, the total length of the wire used in this case is given by 2 pi R1. This is a length of the wire for 1 turn into number of turns N1. The same wire is used to wound the second coil of radius R2 with the number of turns N2. So we can write 2 pi R2 is the new circumference and new number of turns are N2. You can cancel 2 pi and 2 pi. So N1 R1 is equal N2 R2. When the number of turns increases by 3 times, the radius decreases by 3 times. Why? Because length is constant. So we can write N1 by N2 can be written as R2 by R1. This is one more expression here. Now, if only number of turns are given, you can use this formula as, you can write this as B1 by B2 is equal, this is N1 by N2 into, what is R2 by R1? This can also be written as N1 by N2. So then B1 by B2 can be written as N1 square by N2 square or N1 by N2 whole square. Remember students, if radius is not given, then the ratio between magnetic fields at the center of two coils is square of their number of turns. If radius is not considered or not given in any problem, you can use B. Actually, if you take this one, B directly proportional to R, inversely proportional to N, or B directly proportional to N square if R is changing. If R value is changing, you can write B derivative N square. Otherwise, if R is given, B derivative to N by R only. Now, similarly, if in a problem, the radius is doubled or radius is tripled or radius is halved like this, then what is the ratio between B1 and B2? Then this expression will become B1 by B2 is equal, in place of N1 by N2 you can write R2 by R1. So in place of this I am going to write R2 by R1 into, and the second term is also R2 by R1. So B1 by B2 is equal R2 by R1 whole square. So this is the relation between B1, B2 and R2 radii. This is the relation between B1 and N1 when a coil is rewound into another coil. Now similarly, in case of these coils, let us say there is an arrangement of coils such that this is the first coil with the number of turns N1 and radius R1. Similarly, there is another coil which is exactly perpendicular but coaxial, radius R2, number of turns N2. Here, what is the magnetic field at the common center? So the magnetic field at common center, first of all, when this is carrying some current, let us say current in the both coils is same. So when it is carrying some current, magnetic field due to this one will be in this direction, that is this is B1 here. Similarly, when the current is flowing like this, the magnetic field due to the second coil will be B2. You can see these two fields are perpendicular to each other. So what is B1? Mu naught N1I by 2R1. What is B2? Mu naught N2I by 2R2. The resultant magnetic field in this case is going to be B is equal to root over B1 square plus B2 square, which is given by, here mu naught 2I is common. So mu naught I by 2 common. So this is N1 by R1 plus N2 by R2. But as I am squaring this one, I can bring this mu naught I outside. Mu naught I by 2 outside. N1 by R1 whole square plus N2 by R2 whole square. So by using this you can find out the net magnetic field at the center if two coils are two concentric coils are two coils with the common center and perpendicular to each other. Similarly, if you take one more problem here, this is a coil with number of turns N1 with radius R1. This is another coil with number of turns N2 radius R2. So if the current is flowing in the same direction, the net magnetic field at the common center is given by B1 difference B2. But here, as the current is flowing in the same direction, you can add these two. So this can be given as mu naught N1 I1 by 2 R1. Even if the current is same or different, you can write this one plus mu naught N2 I by 2 R2. So here, what is the direction of this current? As the current is flowing like this, the field is into for both. So you can write common as this one. If the direction of current changed here, let us say in place this is I1, this is I2. Then for this, the net magnetic field will be B1 difference B2 mu naught N1 I1 by 2 R1 minus mu naught N2 I2 by 2 R2. Here this field is into, this field is outwards, that's why I am writing negative here. Whichever is bigger, so that will dominate here. Why? Because we don't know N1 and N2, R1 is greater than R2, but we cannot say N1 and N2. So individually we have to find this value and this value. Based on these magnitudes, we can subtract from B1 minus B2 or B2 minus B1. A coil is given such that this is a coil which is having large number of turns like this. So this is connected to a battery, current is entering here, current is leaving here. So in this arrangement, the inner radius, let me take it as R or A, the outer radius is B, and the total number of turns in this coil are capital N. What is the magnetic field at the center of this one? For one circular loop, magnetic field center is mu naught Ni by 2R. Here, as it has a large number of turns and radius is not constant, you can use this formula B is equal to mu naught Ni by 2R if radius is constant, because that coil has a large number of turns and radius almost constant here. But here radius is varying from this end to this end. So for this type of diagrams, so what we are going to take, first I have to consider a small elemental coil of thickness delta x here, this is x, this thickness is dx. So what is the magnetic field due to this small circular ring here? So this I am going to write dB is equal mu naught into the number of turns in this one, let me take it as a small n into I by 2 into this distance is x. But here I need to write the number of turns in this one. So to find out those number of turns, the total number of turns from here to here are n. So n turns are present. N turns are present in a width of b minus a. This is the width. This is b, this is a, this will be b minus a. So this is b minus a. Let us say meters. This is meters. So for 1 meter width, what are the number of turns? N by b minus a turns. So these are the number of turns per unit width. So I am going to write this as small n, which is going to be total number of turns by total width. These are number of turns per unit width. Now, here I am going to write the number of turns in this width dx. N turns are there for 1 meter. For dx meters, number of turns will be n into dx. So I can write n into dx here. These are the number of turns in this blue color portion. Now, what is the total magnetic field here? Integrate this one with limits. So this will become mu naught into n into I into dx by 2 into x. So what are the common points here? Mu naught, what is n? That is the number of turns per unit length, unit width. That is n by b minus a into I into dx by x by 2 here. So these are the constants. I brought them outside. So this will be mu naught ni by 2 into b minus a integral dx by x. So here x is the variable, minimum value of x is a, maximum value of x is b. So I am going to write the limits as a and b. So this will be log of x with the limits a and b. So here what we can write, this can be written as mu naught ni by 2 into b minus a. If you substitute this one, log b minus log a, what we can write? Log b by a. So ln b by a. So this is the magnetic field due to this circular ring having radius, inner radius as a, outer radius b with the total number of turns and carrying current I. Helmholtz arrangement. What is this Helmholtz arrangements? If you take a circular coil carrying some current I with number of turns and with radius r on the axis, magnetic field is given by mu naught ni r square by 2 of r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. So at the center field is maximum, and if you go away the field reduces. Now for any coil on either side of this one, so this is the center of the coil, here field is maximum. As you move on either side of this one, magnetic field gradually decreases. This is magnetic field, this is distance r. So the magnetic field is maximum at the center of a circular coil, and on both sides on the axis, either this side or this side, magnetic field gradually decreases. But here what I am going to do, I am going to take two coils which are having same number of turns. That means two identical coils which are having similar number of turns carrying same current. This is radius r, this radius r, number of turns, and these two are separated by a distance r only. So if these two are separated by a distance r which is equal to radius of this coil, then it is called Helmholtz arrangement. So what is the use of this Helmholtz arrangement? We know that magnetic field due to a single coil will be maximum at this one, and on either side it will gradually decreases. Similarly for this also, the magnetic field will be this one, and gradually it will decreases. But here if you observe this one, the sum of the magnetic fields due to this one, here I am going to draw the diagram like this. This will be the diagram. Now this is the magnetic field due to the first coil, this is second coil. So this is B1, this is B2. This magnetic field, let us say some Tesla, this is magnetic field, some more Tesla. What is the total magnetic field due to this arrangement? This will be B1 plus B2 because both are adding. So this is the B1 plus B2. Here also this is B2, this value is B1, this is B1 plus B2. And you can see this is B1, this is B2. If you add these two, you will get a value somewhere here and here. So these are the points where the magnetic field, sum of the magnetic field. So this is B1 plus B2. See, one coil is producing a field where the magnetic field is maximum at center and on other side it is decreasing. And second coils are producing the similar magnetic field and it is decreasing. But when these two are kept very near to each other and distance between these two is exactly equal to the radius of one of the coil, the magnetic field between these two almost constant between these two. So the Helmholtz coils arrangement is used to produce, this arrangement used to produce uniform magnetic field wherever necessary, uniform magnetic field. So for this condition is, first condition is both are identical, both coils must be identical. That means N current carrying in this one is I and R are same, should be same. Second one, the distance of separation should be equal to radius of any one of the coil. Third one, the plane of the coils must be parallel to each other. Planes of the coils are parallel to each other. And the fourth one, let us say observe from this side, the direction of current in both coils must be either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So direction of current must be same from direction of currents in the coils must be same when viewed from any side. So these are the four conditions. Then we can produce a uniform magnetic field and we can find out the magnetic field here, because magnetic field due to this one at the center we know mu naught N I by 2R. Magnetic field to this one at this point also you can find it by taking that formula mu naught N I R square by x is equal to R, and we can find out the total magnetic field at this point and total magnetic field at this center, and even at different points also the magnetic field from this point to this point almost same, but it is slightly increased at the middle, but it almost maintains the same magnetic field. So what is the net magnetic field at this point 1? So O1. So O1 is magnetic field to the center of this coil plus magnetic field to this one at this point. So I am going to find out magnetic field at the center of the first coil and magnetic field at the center of the second coil. So this is magnetic field at O1, which is given by mu naught Ni by 2R. Here I am writing capital R here. So this is the magnetic field at the center, and what is the magnetic field due to this one at this center? This will be mu naught Ni R square by 2 into R square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. This will become R only. Remember, let us observe from this side. Here current is clockwise, so field is in this direction. For this also current clockwise, field in direction. So I can add these two. So if you add these two, magnetic field at first center is equal to mu naught Ni by 2R plus mu naught Ni R square by 2 into R square plus R square 2R square whole power 3 by 2. You can write mu naught Ni by 2 common, or even if you take R common here. So this will become mu naught Ni by 2, this R1 plus R square by, the other terms are 2 power 3 by 2 R cube. This is R cube. Once again you will get R only. So this is 1 plus 1, 2 root 3. This you can write 2 root 3, 2 root 2 R. So this is the magnetic field at the center of the first coil. So what is the magnetic field at the center of the second coil? You will get the similar value, same value here also, but at the middle if you point to take this x is equal to r by 2 or x is equal to r by 3 somewhere, then you will get a similar value which is slightly bigger than this value and this value. So Helmholtz coils arrangement is used to produce uniform magnetic field between two coils.